There are some, but not all, of the people who helped to facilitate the bill decriminalizing all natural psychedelics being passed in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Some are from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Others are from other parts of America, and they flew to Ann Arbor, Michigan just for the city council meeting and the after parties. As you can see, they are all huddled very close together, not socially distancing, and none of them are wearing masks. This picture was posted along with another picture of the cake that they ate at their party. And there it is. There is the cake. People, I have some breaking news for you. Ann Arbor, Michigan just became the 4th U.S. city to decriminalize psilocybin and psychedelic mushrooms containing psilocybin, and the 3rd U.S. city to decriminalize DMT and all other natural psychedelics and plants containing natural psychedelics. Don't I sound overjoyed? People, I wish I could excitedly tell you that this just happened, but I found out that this just happened from a Facebook post that left me so utterly perturbed and disturbed and disappointed with the people from Decriminalize Nature Ann Arbor, or DNA 2 for short, and the people from the entire Decriminalize Nature organization for the entire USA, that I cannot happily break this news to you, because what they did to celebrate this victory may have made this victory effectively not a victory, but evidence to those who may have already not seen it as a victory, that the people, not only the citizens of Michigan, but from all across America and from around the world, were just drug addicts who had had their minds warped by drugs, who had conspired together to pass a ridiculous law that shouldn't have been passed. I found out about this victory from a Facebook post made by Carlos Plazola about the victory party that the people from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and people who are part of the national or international Decriminalized Nature organization had to celebrate their so-called victory. I am now going to show you the post, and then I am going to explain not only why I was disturbed by it, but why this one single post could discredit the entire Decriminalize Nature movement. So here's the post about the DNA 2 victory party. DNA 2 victory party. Blah, blah, blah. You can read it. Not pictured are other people who were apparently there, including Carlos Plazola. So what are these pictures of? Let's look at them up close. There are some, but not all, of the people who helped to facilitate the bill decriminalizing all natural psychedelics being passed in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Some are from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Others are from other parts of America, and they flew to Ann Arbor, Michigan just for the city council meeting and the after parties. As you can see, they are all huddled very close together, not socially distancing, and none of them are wearing masks. This picture was posted along with another picture of the cake that they ate at their party. And there it is. There is the cake. As you can see, it has a shroom on it. meaning a hallucinogenic mushroom that, although may have just been decriminalized in Ann Arbor, Michigan, is still illegal under Ann Arbor, Michigan's official laws, illegal under the state of Michigan's laws, and illegal under federal laws. So these people who posted these pictures, who, in my opinion, are basically geniuses, made themselves out to look like blooming idiots hallucinating that they're blooming psychedelic flowers out of their head, or mushrooms, which are actually hallucinations created by their overuse of psychedelics, who think that the flowers that they are blooming out of their heads are not flowers, but actually light bulbs, like Einstein's light bulbs, giving them bright ideas that are actually complete garbage. Yes, when you celebrated your so-called victory on social media by posting a picture of a bunch of you having a COVID party, even though you technically didn't call it that, and posted a picture of the cake that you were eating, which had a decriminalized but still technically highly illegal mushroom on it. You did not only discredit yourselves, but you discredited our entire movement and everything that we stand for. Like, psychedelics are supposed to, according to you, cure people's psychological problems, make people more intelligent, and help society. You made yourselves look, and all the rest of us look, insane. You made yourselves and all the rest of us look like psychedelics, make people have psychological problems, and also make it look like they made people stupid. And you made it look like groups of people gathering to use psychedelics would just willy-nilly, carelessly, without a care in the world, spread COVID-19 to each other and therefore inevitably others, which would harm, not help society, discrediting everything that the Decriminalize nature movement, which should be called the Decriminalize human beings movement, stands for. If people do not support the law you passed and people criticize you for it, I think before you respond to their criticism, you should take a step back and look at your own words and your own actions, people. Whenever Oakland, California decriminalized all natural psychedelics and all of the actual compounds that made those natural psychedelics psychedelic, so you could, for example, have either shrooms or psilocybin or either ayahuasca or dimethyltryptamine, and you would not be prosecuted for possession of either or. I criticized DNA2 or Decriminalize Nature Ann Arbor because the wording of their bill did not specify the exact compounds that they wanted to decriminalize, but instead they wrote it in broad and cryptic wording. And the bill they passed was worded either similarly or exactly the same as the preliminary bill that I criticized in my video a year ago. Instead of saying they wanted to decriminalize psilocybin-containing plants and psilocybin, mescaline-containing plants and mescaline, dimethyltryptamine-containing plants and dimethyltryptamine, they passed the final bill that said the resolution defines entheogenic plants as plants and fungi that contain indolamines, tryptamines, and phenethylamines that can benefit psychological and physical wellness, support and enhance religious and spiritual practices, and can reestablish humans' inalienable and direct relationship to nature. And while technically, by scientific definition, that does include plants containing psilocybin and mescaline and dimethyltryptamine, because of the little caveat that the plants benefit psychological and physical wellness and support and enhance religious and spiritual practices, if you see people using those plants, doing things that do not benefit those things or promote those things, such as having a big gathering without masks with a bunch of people who all traveled from around the country, who didn't quarantine themselves for 2 weeks before meeting together without masks or social distancing, the fact that people celebrating the passing of this law by behaving in a way that contradicts what they said that these substances would cause people who did them to do, they have discredited themselves and me. Like, I haven't made a video talking about psychedelics or the decriminalization of psychedelics since the start of the COVID-19 outbreak. I have basically made almost no videos other than videos about COVID-19 since the start of the COVID-19 outbreak. The reason for this is that COVID-19 is like more of a serious threat to our society than psychedelics being illegal. Yeah, every so often someone gets beaten up by the police or put in prison for life for psychedelics, but 700 Americans are dying per day from COVID-19. As of 2 days, breaking news. 700 Americans may be suffering, but are certainly not dying in a horrific manner due to psychedelics being illegal. Therefore, it is my personal responsibility to make videos warning people about the dangers of COVID-19, not psychedelics being illegal. Anyway, now that I have finished recording this video, I would like to state that I support psychedelics and all other drugs being not only decriminalized but legalized everywhere in the world. But I'm also wondering why there haven't been any scientific studies about whether ayahuasca or dimethyltryptamine or any other natural psychedelics, especially ones that are known to cure incurable diseases or cause things like purging, haven't been tested to see if they can like help people with COVID-19 survive or even cure them. Like, one of the times in my life that I had like the worst cold or flu with the worst symptoms and was like sicker than I have almost ever been in my life from a cold, one of my friends from out of town like randomly showed up and basically bullied me into going to the beach and taking a really high dose of LSD with him. Like, a few hours into the beach trip, all of my symptoms went away and I suddenly felt like I didn't have a cold. No coughing up phlegm. I did go through a short period of gagging up a bunch of phlegm. Some might call it purging, but after that, I wasn't coughing. There was no phlegm in my throat. I wasn't sneezing. I didn't have a fever. I basically like felt normal. I basically felt like that LSD trip, which was like on a beach in Humboldt County in December when there were high winds and when there was dangerous surf and when we had to like wear numerous layers of clothing and also have blankets around us so we weren't freezing. And when we took like a heroic, as some people would call it, dose of LSD, like cured me of a cold that possibly could have killed me. So if anyone has gotten COVID-19 and taken any kind of psychedelic, especially like a highly purging one while you were infected, please comment on this video and let me know what happened, because I'm highly curious. If I end up getting infected with COVID-19, there are 2 drugs I'm going to want to get, both which would be difficult to obtain in the USA. One is hydroxychloroquine. The other one is LSD, because I would just have to take it and see if it cured the COVID-19 symptoms, like it cured my severe cold symptoms many years ago. And honestly, because I live in Humboldt County, California, normally I could just go down to like the plaza in Arcata and ask some homeless people for LSD. So it may be easier to get LSD than hydroxychloroquine, because I've heard that the US government is making it like very difficult for doctors to prescribe it to people with COVID-19. So the concept that I could get a black market illegal drug more easily than a prescription that I might need if I got sick when I was sick is in of itself ridiculous. And honestly, ayahuasca would probably be better than LSD, but large amounts of LSD can be as detoxifying and purging as ayahuasca, and ayahuasca requires you to eat a special diet for some number of days or even weeks in advance. LSD does not, and if I got COVID-19, I would need something right away, obviously. I wouldn't have the time to eat a special diet for weeks before taking a potential treatment. Now, would I? Anyway, I would like to end this video by thanking all of you people who participated in getting all of these wonderful, helpful, natural psychedelics decriminalized in Ann Arbor, Michigan, for doing so. And I would like to just make one little request. I would really like it if you did it again in another city. I would really like it if you did it in an entire state. I would really like it if you did it in the entire country. But if you do it again, do it in a way that does not risk spreading COVID-19. Like, instead of physically going to the city council meeting, speak at the city council meeting through a video chat. Do not hold a party and post pictures on social media of a bunch of people who all traveled to a place to all meet up and gang up in a picture together without wearing masks. Like, don't do any of that. Not only are you risking making yourselves and other random strangers you may come in contact with sick from COVID-19, but you're making all of us look like blooming idiots with hallucinated flowers blooming out of our heads that we think are light bulbs. Don't make me look like a blooming idiot with hallucinated flowers blooming out of my head that I think are light bulbs!
Here's your orange juice.
I am now going to drink my orange juice and end this video by saying shame on you once again! And by the way, also a little bit of congratulations. But the shame, in my opinion, still may outdo the congratulations. You who I am talking to may not like this video, but I am hoping that everybody else, other than the blooming idiots who I am talking to in this video, will like this video and share this video, and also watch my other videos and subscribe to my channel. And please, if you haven't lost your job and your car and your home and your pets and your wife and your children and all of your possessions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, if you have anything to spare, you can help me out to make more videos by donating money to me on Patreon or other sites, or buying things for me or my family or my pets. Thank you for watching this video. Bye, people. And by the way, I hate to mention this, but I just have to stick it in. The more people who get COVID-19 at your party, the worse it will make it for our movement. Like, if 2 of you get COVID-19 at that party, that will make it look bad enough. But if all of you get COVID-19, that'll just make it look awful. That is like exactly the same thing I said about Donald Trump's rally, where the seats were zip tied together so people couldn't socially distance as nobody was wearing masks. I said, the more people who get COVID-19 at that rally, the less likely it will be that Donald Trump gets reelected. So take that same advice. The more people you spread COVID-19 to trying to decriminalize psychedelics, the less likely they're going to be decriminalized. You remind me of the so-called conspiracy theorists, who I did not think were conspiracy theorists, who for years made YouTube videos explaining what really happened on and who was really responsible for 9/11, who seemed so intelligent and so logical and so rational and so credible, who have now, in the eyes of many people, discredited themselves by making a bunch of videos calling the whole COVID-19 outbreak a hoax, rather than properly investigating it in as much depth and with as much intelligence as they investigated 9/11. Like, don't be those guys. Do better than them. Do not contradict your own morals or the morals of your supporters, like, me, people.